There's a bit of fish. Right there. One fish feeding. Game on, got him. Yes! From under this big boat, there's a better fish. Come on, hang on, hang on. Welcome back to my lure box. In today's video, we're gonna go fishing when it's all against us. The conditions are just a bit rough and tough today. It's blowing a gale out there. The water, we've had flood conditions this week, 3 days of just heavy rain. So it's completely washed out and gone to chocolate. There's weed and stuff everywhere. So the main system is going to be really, really difficult to fish. So I want to take you through what I like to do when everything goes to plop, and hopefully we can get onto some fish. Let's do it. So the whole idea this morning is to try and get out of this wind. So the wind, the flood water, and all the boat traffic is just making it really difficult out there. So sometimes there's like little canals or offshoots that don't quite get the crazy conditions to turn the water all over itself and make it really dark. So I'm trying to find it's not awesome, but it's a little bit better in here. Might be enough to get a bream. Alright, so what I tend to do when the fishing gets really tough is I like to downsize everything. So I've got a Brimex ultralight spin rod with 4-pound fluorocarbon on it, and I've basically got like almost an unweighted plastic. This is one of these soft prawns from MMD, and these things are just fire. Generally they are, so hopefully it's going to work today. And then I cover it in a heap of scent. So I love to use this sack scent. The prawn stuff is just brilliant, works for me most of the time. I can get it done, but today's proven to be really difficult. There's no fish, even though I've got my Polaroids. I'm not seeing any fish really near the surface at all. So I've been having a little bit of a go so far and nothing's really doing. So hopefully this is going to work. I was fishing with the clear. I'll show you what I had on. I had that little clear prawn on and literally nothing for about 20 minutes, and I've been punishing these pontoons. So I've changed over to this bloodworm colour now, slightly darker, just for a little bit more of a profile in this chocolate brown water. Hopefully we can get this happening. taking everything this morning. It's skip casting deep into places where you shouldn't really have to go for a brim. And even at that, I don't even know if there's fish here. There's like a couple of fish I've seen feeding, but they're really slow moving, reluctant. Maybe it's the dirty water and the fact that the bull sharks go mental as soon as it gets dirty and discovered like this. They obviously head out to sea and find the clear stuff. Because generally when I come in here, it's non-stop. It's game on. It's cricket scores with these little prawns. And now it's silence and absolutely nothing. Anyway, I'm going to keep playing around, try and learn a couple of things. These slow days are great for learning a few different things on how to get a bite when it's tough going. Yep, that's got a fish. Jeez, that took ages. Nice head shake too. Oh, it's a good one. Yeah. Mate, the patience to get this fish to bite today. Oh, he's putting up a good show, at least. The patience it took to get this fish. The water is so dirty. We've just had flooding rain, so I've decided to get out of the main system, come in and try and find some fish in these canals. Often these canals have just got a little bit less turbidity in here, and you know, the fish can sometimes hide out in here, get out of the main flood, and yeah, it's a good way to sometimes get a conversion. But boy, it's taken an effort this morning, because usually I can come in here and I can sight cast everything, watch it all happen, and they're super aggressive, but there's barely anything in here. I can still see under the pontoons and the boats, but there's no fish showing up really that are feeding or anything like that, so they're really reluctant. And that fish came out of a pontoon squeezed up beside a yacht. With a great little skip cast in between the two. Maybe that's the key. Got to get deep into these zones where it's really, really dark. Try it again, see what happens here. I was just about to move it on and pull it out, and I just felt a little tick up the line. So I just dropped it back, and that's what got it done. Usually there's fish kissing along the pontoons and sucking up under the boats, and yeah, getting tight against this edge. Daylight today, I'm happy with anything. Some days it just doesn't come together. Right, these small bream are so spiky and jumpy, it's madness. You pay for it for the next couple of days all over your hands when you get a dozen of these. feeding. Game on, buddy. Yes, mate. It's the third fish of the morning I've seen feeding, the first one to even look half interested. Fish too. That's alright, he's sort of higher 20s. Take that. Sight casted it and barely had to let any line off the spool for that one. You little beauty. There you go, have a look at that. Beautiful colours and bars on him. Hey buddy. He was feeding. He was sitting on those oyster pylons, oyster encrusted pylons, just looking around, waiting for a soft prawn. Yeah, maybe that's a little bit of something that I can follow up on. Instead of these boats, maybe these pylons. Hopefully you can see this and the wind's not too bad. I don't have my external mic with me today, I'm sorry, so I'm probably copying a bit of this wind. I've tried to get out of it just so I can try and find some water that's a little clearer for these bream to spot my lures and to be able to come in and feed. But man, I've tried everything at this point and only a couple of rewards. So I've been smashing the pontoons, these rock walls, I've been dropping them down along the edge of this rock wall, hitting the poles, everything I can do I've been trying to do, but I'm just going to keep hitting different cover around here and hopefully at some point I'm going to be able to run into a couple of fish. But at this point, absolutely just really quiet today. Most of the time I'm just posting when I'm getting fish, you know, like there's certainly days where I get donuts and days like this where it's slow and I've got to downsize and chasing bream and it's still not working. Yeah, certainly have plenty of these days. They are good for learning techniques and spots and changing things up though. I'm finding out what works when things are slow. Definitely worked out this bloodworm in the dirty water is better than the clear one at this point. And also a little technique to try and pull the bream in with this prawn. Usually I'm just dead sticking it, I'm letting it sit down there and there's nothing happening. The fish is so tentative, they're sitting off it, and so it's just taking a little hop, and that's all it is, one or two tiny little hops just to pull the fish's interest back in. I've pulled a couple of fish that way. I'm keen to give these boats a bit of a go over here, some really big cover for these fish. We might go and give that a crack. Finish this off. There's a better fish. Taken from under this big boat, it's a better fish. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Hey, he's swum all the way over by himself. Oh, it's a cracker. I like it. I have had to work hard today. Yeah, buddy. That's a brute. You little beauty, look at that. He's full of chunk. Stay still. Oh, I can feel he's fully buffed up my leader. Running under that big boat. Oh, come on, mate. There goes the prawn. He's a better fish. See you, buddy. he's wrecked my leader going underneath that boat, but I could hear coming out of this canal, I could hear these trawlers pouring with water. I thought maybe there's going to be a couple of feeding bream under there. There might be another one. So I've gone really light line, even though the water's dirty. These fish are just so slow, reluctant to grab it. Even that take was really slow. So this 4 pound line is probably my favourite way to go with these prawns. It just slows the sink rate down as well, so their fall is really slow. And then it gives the bream a chance to come over, have a really good look at it, and then grab it. It's just about that patience to leave it in there, especially on these slower days. I had the clear one on, and there was absolutely nothing happening. I've caught all of my fish on this bloodworm colour, and I just thought maybe something that's got a bit more of a silhouette to it in this dirty water might be the best way to go. So finally got a couple of fish. You're going home happy. Love it when I see these prawns starting to get beaten up, panel beaten. Another stab in there. It's been a couple of minutes now, I reckon, so I'll have another couple of stabs in there so we can get something. Where all the bream are at. Yeah, look at that. This prawn's starting to get a bit beaten up now. Oh, I don't mind that while I'm catching fish. So Gold Coast, Northern New South Wales, sunny coast. God, we're blessed with all of this built cover. The marinas and harbours and docks and pontoons and everything. As long as you're fishing it fairly respectively, like people ask me to leave, I always just move on. There's plenty of spots to fish. And at this point, it's all pretty good, pretty easy. Oh, there's a team of them in there. Letting it sink down. There's obviously out of these trawlers there's a whole heap of wash. It's basically like scent pouring into the water, so it's pulling fish in, switching them on, and I'm just throwing my scent covered little prawn in there. It's almost not fair. Other than throwing a huge net or dragging one through, I reckon this is the next easiest thing. I don't mind doing it because the day's been so slow. A lot of editing that goes into some of these videos to pull some fish together, and this morning I've had to punish myself and hang out and try and crack something. I've ended up here at the trawlers. Well, it's all about timing. It's always all about timing. And I've just got lucky. This trawler's just come home and it's unloading, and the bream are just everywhere here. Look at that. It's another cracker. I want to give you a good look at this one's mouth because he is full of big chundery teeth. He's a better specimen, a few shoulders. Look at the mouth on him. Those little gnawing teeth there. Awesome. Alright, well that's it for today. I hope you've enjoyed this video. There's heaps more coming and there's a trip about to start. We're a couple of months out now from our trip around Australia, so make sure you subscribe and stay tuned because there is a hell of a lot coming this year. I'll see you in the next video.